At Red Barn, our pet food ingredients work overtime. They aren't just there for show. Dandelion greens work to maintain a healthy digestive system. Salmon oil works to enhance the immune system. Green-lipped mussels work to support joint health. These hard-working ingredients support your dog's active, healthy life. Look at the label. We want you to. Red Barn Naturals Pet Food. Simply the best. Find it in your local pet specialty store. Visit redbarninc.com to save $1 on Red Barn grain-free canned food.
Blog Talk Radio.
You know what time it is? Time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Coop I. With Mr. Coop I. With Mr. Coop I. Get the latest scoop. From Mr. Coop I. From Mr. Coop I. From Mr. Coop I. With Mr. Coop. With Mr. Coop I. With Mr. Coop I. With Mr. Coop I. Get the latest scoop. From Mr. Coop I. From Mr. Coop I.
All right, welcome to the Big Scoop with Coop. I'm your host, Coop, and today, Season 2 is still going strong, Episode 9 for this season. Everybody, make sure you tell your family, your friends that's listening right now to tune in to www.blogtalkradio.com/The Big Scoop with Coop, where they can hear it live. If you can't catch it live, you can always catch it on my website, www.bigscoopwithcoop.com. You can find me on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, Blueberry. If you can't find me, Google the show. I guarantee you will find me everywhere. So, guys, let's get into this. Today, I have a special guest on the line, and she is a contemporary gospel artist, and she is amazing. I've heard her vocals, and, I mean, she has an amazing story to tell also. So, I know you all don't want to hear me ramble. Let's go on and bring her on. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Kristin Rader. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's great to be on with you guys.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Kristin, on this show, we always talk about how you started in your career, your success, give advice on how to actually start in your career and much more. But we always start from the beginning, Kristin. So let's first question I have for you is, when did you realize that you want to pursue a career in the music industry?
Well, as I started as a little girl singing on the stage, and it was actually my papa's church, and my mom was a music pastor as well, and I just really had a heart for music ever since I was little, and so I decided that I was going to take a road and pursue it. I went on and I got a vocal scholarship and went to college and received my vocal degree. And then after I graduated, I realized that it was something that was in my heart that I just wanted to pursue as a career. So I went to Nashville and hooked up with James Matchak, who was actually a music producer, and I recorded 2 records at the same time, so it was a busy time, but I recorded a contemporary Christian record as well as a worship record, and we got it out there, got it on the radio. I was working with a manager named Mark Giles, and I just knew that it was something that I wanted to do for my life. I knew it was kind of what I was created to do, and so that's kind of how it all got started.
Man, that's cool when you actually know that you have a calling on your life to do something and you actually pursue it. It seems like the Lord will actually kick it in. I'm not going to say 4th or 5th gear. I'm going to say 100 million gear. And I know I just made that part up. But, you know, it's like, yes, it's like that one thing, you know, some people feel that they can actually do things on their own without the Lord. And you see they run into more hurdles and they can't jump the first hurdle sometimes. So I just want to commend you on everything that you've done so far, putting the Lord in your life, and you let Him direct you into music. And, I mean, it's incredible with the music you actually sung, or the songs that you have made. But when you was young also, who were some of your favorite musicians in your childhood?
Wow. Oh, my goodness, there are so many. I always liked Jackie Velasquez and Amy Grant, and I listened to a lot of For Him as well. I loved the 4-part harmony, and I actually had the opportunity to travel with Mark Harris from For Him, and I did a radio tour with him, and it was an incredible experience because, I listened to him growing up, and it was kind of my idol to be able to travel around with him. It was a great door that the Lord had opened. And let's see, I also really enjoy Natalie Grant's music. I started listening to her, and I always had the hairbrush, and I would sing in the mirror and just pretend that I was just this big superstar in my pajamas when I was a little kid. So, but I have good memories of that. But, I think that it's great to look up to people and to kind of have those Christian role models in your life that you say, you know what, God, if I follow after you and I do what you've called me to do, Lord, give me that platform. Give me the opportunity to share with people your love and the forgiveness and grace that you've given us. So, I looked to those people. I went to their concerts. I would have the CD player playing. Of course, we don't use those very, very often anymore, but so I went to the iPhones and but yes, so I started with that, but I've loved all kinds of music, and I've listened to I love gospel music as well as contemporary Christian, and every now and then I like to pull out some hymns too. So I kind of mix it up a little.
That's what I'm talking about, and I'm glad you brought that up because I'm gonna put you on the spot. What is your favorite genre of music?
My favorite genre of music, well, I probably like contemporary Christian music the best. I kind of like the upbeat music. But on the other side, I really enjoy worship music. I like for the opportunity to connect with people on stage, and I feel like there's no better way to do that than to get up there and lead worship where we can focus on God, close our eyes, and just focus on the real reason why we're there.
Mm-hmm. Now, before you actually get on stage, do you actually listen to any certain artists or any music before you actually get up there and you grab the microphone and you show the world what you can do? Or how do you actually prepare?
Well, I always, before I get on stage, I always make sure that I get some alone time with the Lord and that I'm able to pray about the service and for him to say, speak through me what he wants for the audience to hear. But I love to put on, Carrie Job is one of my favorite Christian artists, and I love to listen to her music, Healer and different ones that she sings, because it just it helps me to be in an atmosphere before I actually go on stage, because in my mind I feel like that if you're not prepared when you go up on the stage, if you're not there where you're right supposed to be with God, the audience can feel it. And I always like to prepare myself with some worship music before I hit the stage.
Wow. People, when you're listening, I know you're listening live right now worldwide, guys, you all hear how Ms. Rader actually does it. She gets her mind focused. So people that's trying to get into this industry, you can jump straight on stage, but I believe you have to have a focused mind also at the same time. So please listen to this. This is great tips that you can use for yourself at the same time. So guys, please make sure you listen to this. Do you feel like it's harder to succeed in the music industry with the Lord in your life compared to without, or do you feel like you need to have the Lord in your life to even succeed? And when I say in the music industry, I'm talking about like in the Christian side, the Christian music, the contemporary, the gospel, whatever. Do you feel like you have to have the Lord in your life?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like I would fall flat on my face if God wasn't in my life. He is such a strength to me. Sometimes, I'll just be honest, sometimes you get up on that stage and you have so much going on in your life and you are nervous and, you're just wondering how it's going to go. And, God somehow, every time I start to sing, I feel his presence. And I feel that he's right there beside me. And that's why I do what I do. I had some people pursue me and ask if I would like to go into country music. And, not that I don't love that style and that genre. I do. Mm-hmm. I love all kinds of music. But I really feel like that if God gave me the gifting for myself, I feel like I have to use it for him. And I think when you pray and you seek him, he will go before you, because with the music industry, everyone sees, the good side of it. They see the fame and all that is wonderful, but at the same time they don't see the work that goes into it. They don't see the behind the scenes, the down times. And God is such a friend. He's a personal friend that we can all go to, and there's no way I can do anything without him.
And that is so true. And even within the music industry and even outside of the music industry, people need to learn that without God, you're going to fall, like you said, flat on your face. And it's just amazing to me that a lot of people, to this day, they don't actually realize that. A lot of people think they just wake up and they're just successful on their own.
Right.
And, and deep down inside, it really irks my nerve, if I would use that country slang. It irks my nerve. And people feel that, hey, I did this on my own. I've learned how to walk on my own. I learned how to run on my own. I graduated. I did this. I did that on my own. And people have to understand, if the Lord lets go of your hand, you're going to be doomed for a lot of things.
Right.
And, yes, and people have to learn that before it's too late. You can't succeed without the Lord. It's just simple as that. You can't. Now, Ms. Rader, when you was on stage on any time, from your first time you touched the microphone to the last time you touched the microphone, have you ever been distracted? You had something going on and throughout that day, and while you're singing, that distraction is in your head. It could be something funny that was great that day. It could be something that was horrible that day. And how do you get through that? How do you block it out?
Well, that's so true, because I know that people a lot of times think, oh, the people on stage, they're up on a higher platform than we are, and as far as mentally and their lifestyle, and the thing is we all go through distractions. We're just humans, and in life, sometimes the bus breaks down on the way there. Sometimes you're running late to the concert, and the best way is to just remember why you're doing what you're doing. And when I walk on that stage, I try to get everything out of my mind, if possible, and just try to focus on God. I try to focus on these people that have came out to hear me sing, and that they know that I have a message to give them. And if I keep my head cloudy, that's not something that I can do very well. I can't tell them what I'm wanting to tell them if I'm thinking about other things. So, I would say just to try to pray before you go out there, and just say, God, I'm giving this to you. Everything that has come my way. I was actually on my way to a competition one time, a big vocal competition, and my car had broke down, and I was supposed to be there in 30 minutes. But you know what? The Lord worked it out, and we were able to get somebody to come and pick me up. And, sometimes, like you said, as humans, we want to just focus on, oh, my goodness, am I going to be able to get through this? But, if you give it to God and you put it in his hands, he has already seen that. He saw your problems. He saw your successes before you ever even knew they existed. And he will carry you through if you will allow him to, and give you that peace that passes all understanding.
Wow. Now, I like that. That's deep. And once again, I commend you again, because I believe the average person that will actually get on stage if the bus broke down, like you said, or they just got finished fussing with a loved one, or they just heard the funniest thing in the world and they can't get out of their mind. I believe the average person will be up there trying to sing, and they're going to be laughing at the same time. And people in the audience could be looking around like, is he laughing at me or is she laughing at me? And that's great. I like how you actually are 100% focused, because I think that's going to be my hard part. Now, I'm not going to lie, Kristen, I can't sing worth a lick. I can harmonize all day and I can hum. but see, if I had that skill right there and I saw something, it's just me. I know I would have to pray and pray and pray to keep me focused, because that's going to be it for me. I'm going to be up there laughing my butt off. I know I will. Man. Now,
sometimes that does happen. Yeah,
it does. It does. I mean, even down for things that I do as far as goes to my show, and also I'm an actor. I've been in 2 movies, and the funny thing is, in between takes, I have a partner, and he's a comedian. I mean, that's his living, and he will say something or do something out the way, and next thing I know, I hear action, and the camera's on me, and I'm red in the face, and I'm like, no, this is not the time. And he's sitting there with a straight face, like, yeah, you about to mess up this take. I already see it coming. So, like I said, I commend you on that. Now, I want to bring it back a little bit. How did you get connected with Dreaming Out Loud Entertainment?
Oh, yeah, Dreaming Out Loud Entertainment is my record label with Arthur Payne and Debbie Payne, and it's an incredible independent record label that I am so excited to actually be a part of and work alongside. I was with Mark Giles, which was my radio promoter in Nashville and my road manager, and he actually connected the two of us. He had worked with Arthur in the past and just absolutely loved him and loved his heart for God, and so he connected us, and so we've been working with each other for close to a year now, and I tell you what, I know that God made our paths cross because they're such incredible people. And, you know, when you're going into the music industry, you're already a little bit leery of who am I going to work with, and, you know, are they going to treat me right? Is this going to go smoothly? And I tell you what, it has been a true blessing to work with this company because they have the heart for God and they're sincere. And, you know, I know that God placed us together, so it's definitely been a big dream of mine to be able to work with somebody that I know that sees the vision, and so that's how we got connected.
Wow. And, you know, I had the privilege to talk to Mr. Payne quite a few times, and when I first met him, I was like, okay, I could see the vibe, well, not see the vibe, I could feel the vibe that, you know, he loves the Lord. And that's one thing I would say, you know, it's hard to find managers, promoters, agents, you know, that will actually be legitimate as far as it goes for trying to help your career, take your career to the next level, and, you know, and love the Lord at the same time. I mean, the average person, you may find 1 out of 3 because they're out for themselves. And this right here, you actually found one that's actually got the whole package. So, Mr. Payne, if you're listening, big shout-outs to you, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
He's wonderful.
Yes, he definitely is. Keep doing what you're doing. So, Kristen, where do you see yourself 5 years from now in the music industry? What is your future plans?
Well, my future plans right now, we're going to be working on getting a music video set up, and so we're going to be working on that as far as my new single with Smile, and we're going to be recording some more music in the future as well. But in the next 5 years, I would love to continue to travel. I've sang in different countries. I'd like to hit a few more countries as well to take it outside of the U.S. And I know some of those people over there, they're not as fortunate as us, so they don't have the opportunities to listen to great music about the Lord. And so that's really my goal. I'm going to be getting back in the studio and recording some new music and some different styles, possibly some Christmas music. And, you know, I'm just praying that whatever God has for me, that he opens the doors. And I really am at the point in my life where I don't care if it's small or big, as long as it's the steps that he's created. So I'm really looking forward to continuing to work with Dreaming Out Loud, and we'll just see. We'll see what happens, so people can kind of stay tuned.
And that's what I was about to say. I know I will be staying tuned to this, because when you said Christmas music, my eyes open up, because when I think of a female artist with Christmas music, the first person to come to my mind is Mariah Carey. And there's some other that actually have dropped very, very successful Christmas music. Now, if you could, and I know this probably will be a spoiler, but I will still ask anyway, if you actually was in the studio right now, what are the 3 songs on your album? If it was a Christmas album, which songs would you sing?
Which songs would I sing? Well, you know, if I go back to, let me see, I love this isn't a Christian song, but I love Dreaming of a White Christmas, And hey, if I could hit the Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You, I think that would be fun. That I would love. That's what everybody knows, right, when they think of Christmas music. But I love that. And you know what? I might even do a fun one for kids. Santa Claus is coming to town. But, you know, those are the ones that are not on the Christian side. But, you know, those are some fun ones that I would enjoy singing.
Yes. Ms. Rader, I will ask you a personal favor. If you do an album, and it's a Christmas album, and if you can, include those three.
Okay.
Do it for me, please.
I will.
Thank you. Please do it.
They could be some bonus tracks. How about that?
I love it. Great idea. I love it. I mean, this right here, I think you should do it, though. I really do, because even though Christmas is once a year, but I'm one of those people where if the song sounds good, I want to play it now. I'm not going to look crazy in the middle of June blasting Santa Claus is Coming to Town. But in my own private time, I will still listen to the song, and that's what I love. I mean, music is good music. It's giving a positive impact and a positive vibe. I love it. And, I mean, that's the thing. Yes, I love Christian music also. Don't get me wrong, I do. And because it gives a positive vibe about the Lord. But at the same time, I mean, if you really think about it, when you get down to the root of Christmas, it is about the Lord. So, yes, please. I mean, please, if you can't make them bonus tracks, do it, yes. Now,
absolutely. I'll have you could come and do background music. How would you like to do that? We'll put you on there.
you want a successful album, right? Don't put me up there.
Exactly.
I can clap in the background.
I
but
thought
don't
we should put you on that.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Now, since you were talking about Mariah Carey and all these others, if you could choose to collaborate with anyone or any group in the music industry, who would it be and why?
You know, like I had said earlier, Carrie Job is one of my favorite artists, and I just love her passion for Christ. I love the anointing that is all over her when she sings, and I had gotten to open up for her probably, I believe it was last summer, and there's just a special presence about her. I would love to be able to collaborate with her and do some songwriting and just work on some worship music together. That's where my heart is. But yeah, I would. There's so many. Natalie Grant. I love Natalie Grant as well. Would love to work with her. So there's a lot of them that I would call up if I had the opportunity.
Wow. Hey, if you all are listening to the show, Ms. Rader's calling for you. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Let's collaborate. Gosh, that'll be great. What is your ultimate goal in the music industry?
I would have to say that my ultimate goal is to tell as many as possible about Christ, about his love, about his forgiveness, and how that he died on the cross to save our sins. And, you know, I know with my music a lot of times I try to pick songs that not only relate to me in my life, but also relate to what's going on in others. And that's one thing that I would like to tell people about, you know, that there's a Savior that is ready to come and take away their sins and take away those pains that they can't take away themselves. And I would love to do that, and I would love to just share the love of Christ and the joy that I have in my life and who I got it from.
Nice. And I want to rewind back just for a minute, because when you were saying that about spreading the word about God to everybody and the Lord about everybody. Now, I know you said that, you know, you've been to different countries and, you know, you do a lot of traveling. So do you have, what would be your next stop? If you could choose anywhere in the world, what would be your next stop to actually visit or even record or even do a tour? Where would you pick?
You know, I really like France. I have a lot of family that lives there, and I would love to go there and maybe meet up with some family and do some concerts there. That would probably be my next place that I would really enjoy going to. I've been to England and Wales and different places, Canada, but I would really love to go to France.
Wow, nice. Take a picture of the tower for me, because, you know, I've never been there. And text it to me, because I would love that. Now, We heard about your tours, where you want to go. Let's talk about your music. What is some of the music that you have written that's actually, that you really enjoy doing in the studio?
Mhm. Well, on one of my CDs, I have a song called "I Am Alive," and it talks about how not only am I physically alive, but I'm alive in Christ, and how when this body dies, how we'll all one time have to see our Savior and go into eternity. And it talks about that it's Him that gives us breath in our body. It's Him that actually creates the life that we see. And so that song is probably one of my favorites. And then I've also created one that is called Living to Worship, which means how we live our lives every day, not just when we're singing, not when we're just preaching, but every day that we live our lives for Christ. And that means, if we see somebody that's hurting, or we see somebody on the street that doesn't have money, that we will be the hands and feet of Christ.
Wow. Nice. Now, if people want to actually, get your album, want to get your CDs, want to hear your music, and experience what I've experienced hearing you vocally, how can people actually get their hands on your music?
Yeah, well, I love connecting with my fans. I love to hear, their thoughts. I love to even hear what kind of music they would like to hear next. When I go in the studio, what songs are kind of speaking to them. What's the things that they're going through in their life? Because a lot of times when I'm writing music, I'll take some ideas from the fans. But they could go, and I'm on Facebook at Kristen Rader Music, as well as Twitter at K Rader Music, and I also have a website that is KristenRaderMusic.com, and there they can find all the info, my bio, and tour dates if I'm going to be in their area, and that's where they also can buy music as well as iTunes.
Nice. Can you give everybody that's listening one more time your Facebook name, your Twitter name, and your website?
Yes, absolutely. Twitter is K Rader, Rader Music, and Facebook is Kristen Rader Music. And then my website is www.KristenRaderMusic.com.
Everybody, make sure you go out, get her CDs. I promise you would not be disappointed. Vocally speaking, I can't sing a lick, but if I can actually get my voice like Kristen's, I will be in the studio also. I'm not going to lie to you. I love your music, Kristen. Please continue to do what you do. I love what you're doing for the Lord, and I love what you're doing for your fans out there. Check out her website. Speak to her. When you see her, speak to her. Send her messages. Do what you have to do, guys. Get it out there. Let her know what you like, what's going on in your mind. I guarantee Kristen can make a song out of it that's going to actually be uplifting for you and everybody else in the world, because people that's listening right now, trust me, you're going through something right now. You're not the only one in the world that's actually going through. It could be someone that's actually, that you don't even know, that's going through the same thing. Let Kristen know what's going on. You don't have to tell all your personal business, but just, give her a heads up on what you heard that could be uplifting for you. It could be more music that's going to come out with the same message, or a more impacting message. So please, everybody, make sure you do get in contact with Miss Kristin Rader. Now, Ms. Rader, one last question for you, if you don't mind. What advice would you give any male or female that's trying to get into the music industry?
I would probably tell them, first of all, to start where they're at. Whatever church they're at, the more they can get involved, singing on stage, getting the experience is the number one thing that they need to do. And once they do that, try to branch out, try to go to other churches and sing around the area. And then it would be a good idea if they probably go and get a few songs recorded, get that on CD so that they would have some products to sell that they could use for their music ministry in the future as well. And it's always good. Like I said, I've been so blessed to be able to work with Dreaming Out Loud Entertainment and Arthur Payne. It's really good to be able to connect with someone that sees your vision. Try to find a manager, and that doesn't have to be someone that's famous and costs a lot of money. It could be, your husband. It could be you're a family member that could make some phone calls for you, that would really support you, that believes in your vision, and they're walking with you through that. So, get a team to work with, maybe a band also that they could travel with, and those are probably the first few steps that I would say to do.
Nice. Now, Ms. Rader, would you mind if the people that's listening right now on this radio in the future, if they do go on and pursue in the music industry and they can't, would you mind if someone messaged you and said, hey, I went on in the music industry and I took your advice and I was successful? Would you love to hear stories from our fans that's listening right now?
I would absolutely love to hear from my fans and from your fans. I know you guys are doing an incredible job on this radio station, and message me, hit me up. If you have any questions, I would be more than happy to share any kind of advice with the listeners and tell them, some things that I have went through, maybe to help them in their career and walking the path that they feel like that God has created for them.
Nice. Well, Ms. Rader, I hope that you will get the messages. I actually believe that you will actually get them because people want to pursue careers. A lot of people think it's actually hard to get into different industries because they see it on TV and they think, well, I'm from this small town, or I'm from this city, I will never be known, or this could never happen to me. So I want to say thank you for giving a positive uplift to everyone that's actually listening. And Ms. Rader, I want to say thank you for coming on the show tonight. I really enjoyed you. My fans really enjoyed you. Your fans really enjoyed you. And please continue to progress in your music, in the music industry. And we'll be listening for that Christmas album that's going to be coming out soon, okay?
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, and I really appreciate the opportunity, and I know you guys are doing so many wonderful things for your listeners, and I know they love tuning in and hearing your program. So thank you again, and I would tell your listeners, like you said, go after your dreams. Don't ever feel like you're too small to do something. It just takes one person to go after, and you have to believe in yourself, pray about it, and ask God to open the doors that He has for you.
Thank you very much. Now, Ms. Rader, I would love to have you back on the show again in the future.
Absolutely. I would be more than happy to. It's been fun.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, guys. This concludes another episode of the Big Scoop with Coop. Ms. Rader, thank you again for coming on the show. And everybody, you all have a great night. And until next time, everybody.
Check out these sweet reindeer socks, only 99 cents.
Oh, yeah? Got this Samsung Tab 4 8.0 from AT&T for free.
Free?
Had a hard time finding a stocking it would fit in, though.
Whoa, no need to rub it in.
Rubbing it in would be telling you I got the tablet for free when I bought a new Samsung Galaxy smartphone on AT&T Next. Which I did.
Oh, AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Free tablet requires 2-year agreement. Must activate eligible service on both Galaxy devices. Fees, charges, and restrictions apply. Available at select locations.